Okay guys, in this video we're going to review a new function we're going to be utilizing in Target Solutions. Right now we only have 2 tasks that would require using the new function, but there could be a potential for more in the future. So the new function is called Save and Assign. Save and Assign is designed so that an officer can partially document training, then assign the rest of the training record to a member to complete. For example, for EMS, we can have the officer document training of the skill sheets. However, as per hospital rules, we also need the individual members to sign off on that same skill. In order for the officer to fill out a portion of the training record and then have each individual member complete their portion, we need to use the Save and Assign function. Let's take a look at the first training we will use this on, EMS skills. As we just mentioned, we need to incorporate the Northwest Community skill sheets into the training documentation. We also need both the officer signature and the individual member signature. How this is set up is like this. On the bulletin board, you'll see EMS skill of the month. So whatever the skill that month is, you'll automatically be linked to it, just like always on the bulletin board. When you click on it, it looks almost exactly identical to any other training that we're going to document. The only difference here is you're going to see Save and Assign at the top. You still select your members as you normally would, so we'll use myself as an example, and you'll hit Continue. Now this page is going to look very familiar as well. You're going to have the same exact fields to complete as you would any other training. So you'll see the title here at the top, EMS Skills CPAP. You complete the duration, location, e-signature instructor, and then there's a section for the firefighter to complete. So the company officer knows right away what is their responsibility because I made sure to put that in there. Company officer complete the duration. So as the company officer, I would put in 1 hour. Company officer complete the location. We did it at Station 52. E-signature. This is for the company officer to complete. It says right here, company officer complete. Verify if the member listed has successfully passed the skill. You select the drop down and you have 2 choices. Has not passed the skill or has successfully passed the skill. Instructor. Again, company officer complete. Who's the officer verifying the completion? Now the next section you can see it says firefighter complete. So you as the company officer have completed all the sections that you want to complete, and now you want to send it over to the firefighter to complete the rest. My recommendation is that you select one of these settings here at the top, and I would almost always select email users when the assignment is available. What this is going to do is it's going to trigger an email as soon as you hit the Save and Assign button down here at the bottom. And any member that you want to record this for is going to get an automatic email reminder that says it is now available on their Target Solutions main schedule. It just gives a little reminder to them that something is there for them to complete. Another option the officers have is you can set a assignment due date. So let's say you wanted them to sign off on this by next week, just so you can keep some accountability, so you can keep track of everything. You can set a due date of when you would like members to have it done by. And then you can also send an email to users when the assignment is overdue. So this is just another method if you'd like to kind of keep track of who's done what and get little email reminders of what's outstanding. You can always use that function and set an assignment due date to alert any member who hasn't completed it that they still have an assignment overdue. So once you're done completing all the sections that you need to complete, you would just scroll to the bottom and hit Save and Assign. Once you click it, you'll see a notification activity is being assigned to 1 user. And then, as you can see on my homepage, under my individual schedule, EMS Skills CPAP is now shown up. Because this was assigned to me, it's going to show up on my schedule. Whoever you assign it to, each member will receive it on their individual schedule. Now I know as a user, as a member, that this is something I have to complete. So I would just click the EMS Skills CPAP assignment. And you can see here at the top it says some fields have been pre-filled out and locked by me. Please complete any remaining fields and click Submit. So you can see my company officer completed the duration, the location, his signature, and the instructor. And now my section, firefighter completion section, is available for me to sign off on. So as the firefighter, I'm going to come in. I'm going to complete the section that is still left by clicking this link here. And it's going to bring me to FormStack's form for Northwest Community's skill performance record on CPAP. All I have to do is select my name and put in the date of the skill. The rest is already pre-filled in. So it was the first attempt, performs without coaching. They're already filled in for me. Recommendation, competent. I can add in any additional comments, and then I could just sign at the bottom. Click Submit Form. And now the form has been completed and sent to FormStack where it's housed. But you still need to complete the Target Solutions activity. So if you go back to the tab at the top, you click I have completed the form above, and just click Submit as complete. You'll see here it says activity successfully completed. Now you go into your history and you can see CPAP EMS skills has been completed. You can open it up and see that it's already been done. So it's just as simple as that. EMS skill of the month, it's going to be a save and assign. The officer is going to pre-fill out all of their sections, so anything that says company officer. They're going to leave the firefighter completion section alone and click Save and Assign. Once it shows up on each individual member's page, they will simply have to click the activity in their schedule, complete the form, and hit Submit. Now you have the firefighter signature, you have the officer signature, you have the Northwest Community check sheet all filled out and housed, and you have it completed and documented in your history. Okay, so the other training we're going to use this process on is the new candidate book. Instead of signing 100 pieces of paper to document training, we're going to assign an electronic task book to each member. In order for the officer to sign off on the training and then each candidate to sign off, we're going to use the same function, the Save and Assign function. So every candidate is going to have the candidate task book on their schedule. This is going to be a credential that is assigned to them, and I can show you that credential right now. So the credential is going to have all the mandatory requirements in the candidate training. The driver's training, 60 hours, emergency and non-emergency driving, all the SOPs that they have to sign off on, their final evaluation, which we haven't completed yet, their JPRs or job performance requirements, and that we're still in the process of completing as well, the midterm, and then their orientation. And this is their new 2-week orientation where they're coming out to each station and accomplishing different proficiencies in the 2 weeks. So the orientation is just like a introduction to topics. It's not the full-blown topic itself. So within the orientation, you can see we have AirPAC emergencies, lead out operations, ambulance familiarization, MDT, PPE, radio procedures, equipment overview, or an introduction to Schaumburg. So these are all the different tasks that have to be completed within the task book. So how this relates to Save and Assign, if you go back, if I'm an officer and I have a candidate today and I want to sign off that says we went over SCBA emergencies, all I'm going to have to do is scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to notice this orange section here at the bottom. Candidate orientation, candidate JPRs, and candidate midterm. Currently, the only one completed is candidate orientation. So as an officer, today we went over SCBA familiarization. I would click candidate orientation and then select what JPR we completed. So SCBA AirPAC familiarization. Once I click it, it's going to bring you again to Save and Assign. So once you save it and assign it, select the user. We'll use myself again as an example. It's going to bring you to the next section. This is the same as the other save and assign. It's just going to have different information to complete. So you could see this is the JPR. On each JPR for the candidate, you're going to have a proficiency here at the top. These are created by the training committee, identifying what each candidate is supposed to know about each topic that is trained on. So for AirPack familiarization in the orientation phase, this is what the candidate is going to be evaluated on. The different components, the levels, donning and doffing procedures, the heads-up display, how to change a cylinder, the pass device, demonstrate and describe maintenance and cleaning, and make sure to do a fit testing. Identify safety precautions, gear required, and then you're going to have procedure or minimum knowledge requirements, it's called. And this is kind of a guideline for both the candidate as well as the officer. If you are scheduled to do the AirPack familiarization with the candidate, these are all the things that you need to go over that he will be tested on at the end. So at the end of orientation, DC Johnson is going to perform an evaluation on each candidate over the different skills listed in his schedule, and he can ask any of these items. So make sure as an officer you're going over the information contained in each JPR. So that's just a screenshot at the top. You're going to complete the instructor, officer, employee number. This is your signature, and the only option is I validate that all information contained in this proficiency has been covered in training with the candidate. So this is the officer saying that everything here has been reviewed by you and the candidate. The next section is for the candidate to sign. So once you completed your officer employee number, validate that you've gone over all the information. So this is your signature that says you went over everything. You save it and assign it to the candidate. Now once again, on the candidate's main page, you could see here, JPR AirPack SCBA familiarization. Me as the candidate, I'm going to go in and click it. I'm going to see that my officer already signed it with his employee number. He says that all the information within the proficiency was covered. As the candidate, I only have one option. By checking this box, I agree that I have received and understand all information contained in this proficiency. If you have not gone over everything within the proficiency, then don't sign off on it. Just cancel out, talk to your officer, and then you guys will go over what is necessary. So I don't want anybody to sign it if you haven't gone over the information. So once it's completed, select that you agree, select the date, and then click Submit as Complete. You can see activity successfully completed. Now, as the candidate, I can keep track of everything I've done and everything that's been recorded for me, as well as everything I still need to do. So if I just click into the candidate task book and I go down to my orientation, you can see 1 of 7 have been completed. So I'm at 14%. So everything I need to do during orientation, the only one grayed out that has been done, you can see, is AirPack familiarization. So these are all the ones that I still need to have accomplished or recorded on my behalf. As we go through and we add the JPRs, they'll be found again in the JPR section here, and then midterm and final will be listed here. The most important thing is that with save and assign, as soon as you check on something and you assign it, you are filling out your portion and then leaving one more portion for somebody else to fill out. That's the whole point of save and assign. So instead of filling out the entire thing, you are filling out a portion of it, assigning it to another member, having them complete it, and then it will be completed. Nothing within the history is going to show up if it's still sitting on a user's schedule. So this is very important, and I've mentioned it several times before, but it's really important these days since we're using Target Solutions for so many things. Every member needs to log in every single day. Every single day there's either SOPs, there's new classes being offered, there are going to be skills to sign off on, there's going to be candidate stuff to sign off on. You need to log in every day just to be sure that anything on the schedule is getting accomplished when it's supposed to be accomplished. The last thing we need is for 20 EMS skills to be listed on your schedule and they haven't been completed. So please have all members log in at least daily to check their schedule to make sure everything is completed on this end. Another thing that I ask you to do is to check your history and make sure that you only have one training per topic. So I run the monthly training reports every single month at the end of the month. And a lot of times I get somebody coming back saying, Tracy, I have the wrong hours for this, or I have duplicates of that. Just if you can click your history the last week of the month or the last couple days of the month and just look over what you've done, or just do it periodically. And if you notice something that's been done several times and you did not do it several times, then you can let me know before I run the report so that I could change it on my end. Anything that you want to look into with more detail, you can simply click the hourglass on the side here, and it'll tell you exactly when you did it, what the topic was, what it was for. So it makes it really easy. If you just click the hourglass, you can see that on 6/8 you got 1 hour, who the instructor was, and all the information contained for that training. If you see 41 hours, if you see 60 hours, obviously that's something that needs to be changed, and I can go ahead and I can fix that for you. So please look at your history to make sure everything is accurate when we run the monthly reports. And again, please don't sign off on the monthly reports if they are inaccurate. Okay, that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, of course, you know my number. Just contact me and I'll walk you through it. As for right now, all the new information for August is within the resources. So you can see EMS resources for August are up here. You have the chest pain PowerPoint and the policy manual. You will record those separate. Please complete the skill of the month, which is CPAP, with the save and assign feature. And if you have a candidate, please go to the candidate orientation and complete their documentation for the training that they completed that day. If you have any other questions or something's not working properly, please let me know. Thanks, guys.